What's up YouTube? Today's video will be an important one. I will take a look at the World Cup and what can impact our market in the next couple of weeks. If in the end end up enjoying this video, and I know I will repeat myself, please do not forget to leave a like, very important, and this is the best way to support the channel. Apart from that, a lot of viewers are not even subscribers. Consider to change that if you are in that position. I will also try to put a QR code on the screen if you want to check my Discord, my Patreon community, basically all the links related with the channel. Again, I believe this video will be quite important and yeah, let's go into the video. Alright guys, so let's start with the main point, World Cup impact and what can this mean for the soccer card market. We are a couple of weeks away of the World Cup starting, and by the way, I can't wait since it's probably my favorite tournament, but I have shocking news for all of you guys. I'm still a believer on a positive impact for the market. I understand this is still a hot take and will be much safer for me to say that, you know what, at this point I don't believe in a positive impact. I still believe in a positive impact, but of course I can be wrong. At the end of the day, do your own research. You guys tend to joke about my disclaimer, but the reality is no financial advice and no one can predict the market. And by the way, English is not the main language, as you can see. I understand that at this point we all expected more hype around the market, around the World Cup. I think macroeconomics are not helping by any means, but let's talk about what I'm doing on this market. So even though I still expect a positive impact for the market and that there will be degrees of positivity to be honest, but since I tend to hold more than I sell and I have almost zero plays in prospects, I really do not look at this World Cup like an amazing exit point for me. Not at all. This World Cup most likely will not change my approach to the market or change my collection in a way that I was not expecting. The markets I play the most are still vintage and pre-modern. I believe you guys know this. And even if the World Cup brings more participants to the market, most of them will be engaged in modern / prospecting, I would say prospecting market. Of course, this is the first step to have someone entering the older market, since there will be a trickle-down effect over time. Normally, when I make videos about the World Cup, I tend to get actually a lot of views looking for my top prospects for the tournament. Well, if that's the case, spoiler alert, this is not the video for you. You can actually leave right now, since I will share with you why I believe the World Cup will have a positive impact for the market. One, what can actually trigger that. But at the end of the day, will just be a prediction, will just be a perspective. And again, I can share with you what I call a educated type of prediction, a educated type of guess. But of course, I can also be wrong. Moving on, and this is actually a huge factor that can make the hype start gaining some momentum around the World Cup, around the soccer card market. Prizm World Cup 2022. We know at this point this set will be released pre-World Cup. In my perspective, this is actually amazing news. At one point, we end up not being sure about the Prizm because there was so many delays in other sports that, you know what, maybe this will not even be a reality. Right now seems like it will be a reality, and I believe this will be quite huge. Why? This is the most iconic brand / set related with the World Cup in the modern era. This is a type of product that can bring a lot of collectors already inside the hobby. I'm talking about sports cards, but not into soccer. So, for example, Prizm is a huge deal in basketball, NBA. And of course, World Cup will be such a huge deal that it's very easy to, you know what, I want to look at certain soccer cards. Oh, there is a new Prizm set out. Let me take a look at that. Very easy to understand. That's why I said the modern market can benefit the most. If this set does well, in my opinion, the biggest winner, at least long run, can be Prizm 2014 for historical reasons. One of the most important sets in soccer. A lot of key players will get the first Prizm card, and I guess I can mention some names. Pedro, Musiala, Bellingham, etc. All of them amazing players, not my market, but I can see these young players getting a huge premium. Be careful, in my opinion, because the reality is when the set comes out, normal, if you tend to wait, there is a likely scenario you will have a better entry point than just buying into the hype. Very basic stuff. I believe most of you guys are aware of this at this point. I believe this product can get really crazy, especially if there is a strong push around influencers. FIFA streamers on YouTube and also on Twitch have been doing a lot of content related with cards, related with soccer cards. I expect this to have an impact in the upcoming years. A very good example of this will be Castro, very famous Twitch streamer, probably one of the biggest in the world when it comes to FIFA, and I tend to watch his stream from time to time, and he has been opening cards almost daily. This, in my perspective, is something that we should be talking more. This can actually be huge for the soccer card market, because the reality is no other sport have this type of massive type of marketing. If you guys are not aware of Castro, he streams daily, or at least not daily, but close to daily, for 20k people, 10k people. So a lot of people are watching his content. And even though I understand some people are not into cards, but you guys also understand that, you know what, if there is 20k people, even if 1% over time starts converting into cards, that will be a huge deal for the soccer card market, especially for modern, if I'm going to be honest. So before I go into my other point, and the other point is actually quite important, let me say one thing. There is Patreon exclusive content if you are not aware. The main reason to join the Patreon, I'm going to be very honest with you, should be support the channel, all the work I've been doing on this channel, all the time I've been putting into this YouTube. So joining the Patreon gives you access to exclusive content every week. So again, the first reason should be supporting the channel, but of course I try to provide value there. There will be a new Q&A every Wednesday and an extra audio on Saturday. Joining the Patreon right now give you you automatically get access to 70 exclusive videos. Quite crazy to think about if you ask me. For example, last week I ended up not putting content on YouTube, but I ended up putting content on Patreon. And I always put content on Patreon in a weekly basis. And I tend to say this all the time. If you love my content on YouTube, you probably also love my content on Patreon. Link below the video if you want to join the Patreon. Is around $10. If that's a lot of money to you, don't feel any pressure. But one thing that is totally free is actually my Discord server. We are more than 800 members. Crazy to think about the growth of the Discord server. Amazing place to interact with other collectors, to interact with me, to share your collection, to share your perspective of the market, ask stuff. Just an amazing place to learn and share. So link will also be below the video. Like I said, no reason to not join since it's totally free. So my last point on this World Cup impact will be the USMNT success can be crucial. So easy to understand, right? Our market is still very influenced by America, by the United States of America, even if I think less than it was 2 years ago, since we are seeing more Europeans, more Asians entering the market, the reality is still quite clear. America is very influential in the hobby. A good USA performance can create a lot of hype around the team, and that can translate into cards quite easily. My opinion, I think the team is actually quite good. I know some Europeans tend to joke about the US team. I actually think is a very, very good team. And if the coach was better, of course, this is my personal opinion, I would feel very confident about the group stage. But since I do not trust in the manager, I'm not sure, being honest. But I hope the United States of America does very well on this World Cup, because I believe we all will benefit from that. If prospects like Pedro, Anthony, etc. is not my market, you guys can also guess that investing in Pulisic, etc. is even far from, is not my market at all. Is basically what I'm trying to say. So, of course, the first Prizm will also be a huge deal for a lot of players on the team, but just be careful. Again, same advice that I was giving a couple of minutes ago. if the hype gets out of hand, just take 2 steps back, wait, and you probably will have a better entry point in the future. So to finalize my thoughts on this, and I don't want to be the guy that do not give you my prediction for the World Cup, my 3 favorite teams to win the tournament are Brazil, France, and Argentina. And you guys are you guys now are like this. Yeah, Andre, shocking. The 3 favorites on the betting odds. Well, the reality is I would not be the crazy guy telling that, you know what, I think I don't know. I think Portugal will be the winner, even though I would love that. I think these 3 teams are the favorites for good reason. If I had to pick one, I'm going to be honest. I think it will be Brazil. I think Brazil is playing amazing. I think Brazil have a great coach. I think Neymar is also playing very well. Vinicius Junior is playing out of his mind. Gabriel Jesus all of a sudden looks like an elite player, and the team in general is quite solid. France, I believe, is probably the team that have the most talent, but that being said, they've been not playing as well as Brazil. That's why I put Brazil ahead of them. Argentina is more because I believe that the team have been playing quite amazing. And when you have Messi on the team, everything is possible. That being said, I think France and Brazil are quite ahead of Argentina. Even if I had to pick 2, those will be the 2. If you want to prospect, and you guys, if you guys follow my channel at this point, you should know, I think in the soccer card market, we can still have fun with older players. What I mean with this, so I have a video that actually was quite popular on the channel, prospecting on older players, and I'm choosing Benzema and Lewandowski at the time. And guess what? At the time, the market for both was not comparable with what we have right now. I said, look, guys, these 2 guys are probably top 10 players in the last 10 years, in the last 20 years. And I understand they are a little bit older, but they can still win a lot. And Benzema was a very good example, winning Champions League and Ballon d'Or. And they are legendary players, so why not prospect in older players? Prospect is probably not the correct word, but you guys get the point. Try to look at players that are a little bit underrated, even if they are older than, like I said, Pedro, Musiala, etc. So I think you can make. I think this is a very successful actually type of way of investing in the soccer card market. No financial advice, of course, and for these 3 teams you can have a lot of fun. So again, on Argentina probably I would take a look at Messi. On France, maybe not Mbappe. Mbappe could also be one, who knows, but I think Benzema could be also a very good choice. And on Brazil, Neymar tends to be the obvious one. The reason I end up choosing these 3, and by the way, the cards, I'm talking in a macro perspective. Maybe you prefer modern cards for Neymar, for Messi. Maybe you prefer French cards for Benzema. All of that is fine. This is just my macro take on all the 3 guys. But when I look at these 3, what I think is this. Look, guys, Benzema is Ballon d'Or. Messi is probably the GOAT. And Neymar is one of the best players in the last 15 years. So I think there is a lot of upside in players that, you know what, even if the World Cup is not what I'm expecting for them, these guys are great tools long run. And of course, there is also the scenario that if, let's say, Neymar have the tournament of his life and wins the World Cup, I believe that there will be a huge appreciation for his card. Same logic would go for Messi. Probably Messi being the one that will get least appreciations, and people already put Messi so up there. But imagine if Benzema carries France to another World Cup, that will be quite insane. I guess you can apply the same logic. Okay, what about the new kid on Brazil, Vinicius Junior? Yes, but the reality is, I think if that does not play out, holding Vinicius Junior, even though I believe he's an amazing player, is something that I would feel a little bit uncomfortable, even though I bought one, by the way. But the reality is, I don't even advise that. But Neymar, again, even if Neymar fails with Brazil, I think long run, I think history will be good for Neymar. And I understand Neymar is a very controversial player. Maybe you prefer to apply this logic with Messi, with Benzema, but you guys get the point, right? So this is my thoughts on the World Cup impact. I thought this video was important. Look, if that's the case, do not forget, if you end up enjoying the video, and if you also thought this was an important video, do not forget to leave a like right now. I would appreciate that quite a lot. And see you guys next time. Bye.